Energy Matters with Anthony Manna and Dena Marie. Happy New Year's, Anthony.
And Happy New Year's to you, my dear. I want to say Año Nuevo. Feliz. Happy New Year's to everybody, to our Spanish-speaking friends out there. And here we are. Here we are, talking to each other, relating to each other, reconstructing what it means, what it means to tune into energy. And that makes me go immediately to your book, Our Energy Matters, The Art of Crystal Reading. For those who have not seen before, Dena Marie's book. It's subtitled "Learn How to Manifest Your Heartfelt Intentions." That part of it has become very important to me. Because in my meditation now, I try to remember almost automatically to think of what my intention is for the day, and sometimes even for the hour. But I think it's always, I feel like when you actually say it and name it, it becomes something much more important than just thinking it. I'll even say it out loud, because then I feel like it becomes more concrete. Maybe I should put it that way.
Yes, it does. And my son texted me last night for New Year's, and he said, "Mom, 95% of the things you made me write down a year ago and read out loud happened. So we're going to redo our intentions." I totally forgot that I did that with him, but he found it kind of weird reading it out loud, but that's where the power came. And he kept it in his wallet, and he has half of it was stuff to do with me. And he's got a new relationship. He's got an amazing job, but it's all things he just wrote down playfully and read out loud to me.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I love that. And we should tell people that our conversations here that we come to talk to each other weekly has started with your radio program, your radio show, Lift Your Spirits with Dena Marie. And you interviewed me there because I had just published, well, I'll show it. I had just published Loukas and the Game of Chance, a story for children, I say probably 8 to 12, maybe 8 to 13. And it's a lot of, it's a story, I think, of recovery from having lost everything. And I felt so identified with that, because my life has sometimes been that way, where I lost my focus, I lost my way on the path, and so we talked about my book, and then I found out about your book, Our Energy Matters, and then I started writing some pieces related to your book, however it inspired me. I have one right here called, the title is New Year Reflections on the Alchemy of Healing Energies. As this catastrophic, virus-infected, chaotic, socially distancing year, did any of you, ride the crest of joy, happiness, and loving kindness? As this year comes to its final moments, my heartfelt intention is to honor every current of my energy by reviewing the marvels of wisdom that enlighten me, sustain me spiritually and mindfully as I journey through the year into Our Energy Matters, The Art of Crystal Reading, How to Manifest Your Heartfelt Intentions. Dena Marie's, sometimes Lady Grace's, soulful wonder of a book. Here and now, on this final day, now that was supposed to be yesterday, on this final day of our 2021st year, I reflect on 7 of the enlightened teachings, edifications, signposts for healing. 7, the spiritually symbolic number. And I did the research on that. I looked it up, and it was fascinating. This goes back to ancient times, and then I thought about Christ in the desert for 7 days and 7 nights. Then I thought about the 7 fishes that we make on Christmas Eve. Now I know that in the Italian world, but I hear that other people do the same thing in their traditions. So the seven signposts, etc., that illuminated by my understanding of what it means to live to the fullest this blessed life bestowed on me, an old guy still writing, wondering, and learning, by the sacred powers and celestial beings that guide, protect, and often besiege me to wake me to life's treasures far beyond disappointment, heavy-heartedness, and a world tarnished by loss and fear. So it awakens. So here are my 7 gems. And I hope we can get through this in an hour. If not, we'll continue it next time, okay? But I say 7 gems crystallized by Dena Marie's celestial guardians, shimmering beliefs enlivened by her colored crystal readings and exhilarated by her empowering chakras. Number 1, this one I went back to because it says so much to me. There are 7 of these major energy centers in the human body and hundreds of minor ones, and they receive, assimilate, and distribute energy throughout our energetic fields, our auras. Each chakra is unique and has its own individual characteristics and functions, all of equal importance. These 7 energy systems resonate and vibrate at the same frequency, and this, I love this, as their respective colors of the rainbow, and are the network through which the body, mind, and spirit can come together. And when I started thinking about the same frequency and they vibrate in the same frequency as their respective colors, I thought about dance. Because I mean, that just, I just see that being choreographed, you know, in my mind, you know. Number 2, we are the co-creators of our own reality. We are spiritual beings living in the physical world. This is precisely the reason our intentions are so important. They are truly our thoughts, our prayers, waiting to manifest into the physical world. By being consciously connected to our higher selves, each of us can become aware of the divine plan and express it in our own individual ways. When we know our purpose and hold a pure vision of that idea, then we are using the gift of visualization as the divine mind intended. By holding this vision within our highest chakras, meditation, it guides us into realizing our full potential and reminds us on earth as it is in heaven. Inspired or in spirit, we are moved to envision, create, and be uniquely ourselves. Who am I? I am I. Everything else is just an illusion. And I know you remember that, right? Because we've talked about that whole expression there of the divine self, of the illuminated self, of the enlightened self. Number 3, we can't allow when I first read this, I thought, yes, Dena Marie, yes, you know, because it's like, get your act together. We can't allow our society to sedate us and silence our voices no longer. We must have the courage and the conviction to speak our minds and take back our power. Let's leave the fighting behind, learn from our past, and love one another. Oh, wow. Truly moving our energy up into the heart chakra, from which the Christ consciousness of compassion and forgiveness arises, you know. And I think that any of the people that are watching this, listening to this, could say the Buddha consciousness, whatever spiritual power one relies on for guidance. Number 4, constructive thoughts help us get what we truly want in a tangible form. Ask and you shall receive. If all chakras are flowing, I will think deserving thoughts, and then I can find the strength to walk through doors when the universe holds them open for me. Talk about positive energy.
Your threshold.
Yeah. That's the threshold business. And I think it's so important to be reminded Number 5, and then related to that one, and I've always liked this this one sentence, which I think it should be repeated several times, but I won't. Clearing up energy, removing blockages, and opening closed chakras can allow energy to flow more freely throughout the body. And I think that if people would pick up your book, they would see that manifested all over the place. You know, that what do we mean by blockages, and and how can you unblock, and it's right there. I mean, you have pages of that in fact, and then the back cover of the book also talks about moving out of the blockage, and how can you move to the other side, and under the turquoise blue sky by day and at night, a deep purple canvas above, complete with the luminous gaze of a full moon, Mother Nature displays the color of the chakras for all to see and experience, if only we can stop long enough to feel the connection. Can you believe that you wrote that? I mean,
I was in Sedona, and when you read that to me, it just brought me back to that time where I wrote it, and thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, I think, and also, I mean, the conversations that we've had from the very, very beginning about nature, being in nature, walking in nature, going into nature, and being sustained, and it's like the sustenance that you can't get anywhere else, and I tell you that I live on 8 acres, and you do too, and then I live on a wooded, there are woods all around me, where the deer roam, and a number of other animals that I don't like too much because they're so destructive, but it is so important to be out there, and that's what that reminded me of. And I think that to say if you only could stop long enough to feel the connection is perfect. Number 7, I did it. I reached it. Okay, all right, so 7, if you read this book and walk away with the understanding that you are an energetic system interacting with other energetic systems, then my job is done. Everyone and everything you encounter is energy. Our energy truly does matter. How much energy you have is strictly up to you. And then there's a quote from Mark Twain right below that, which I thought was so interesting. And what is man without energy, Mark Twain asks? Nothing. Nothing at all. Those are my 7 gems.
Oh, you lifted my spirits in 2022 for the first day. This is New Year's. And, I didn't feel so good for the last 2 days, but I got time to reflect, which is what this is about. And, this is, I almost think the solstice is the New Year's for me. But right now, this has got a lot of energy behind it because people really believe in this New Year's number 1, moving forward in January. And just sit down with yourself and ask yourself, what do I want for me? And how do I want to live the rest of my life? Because I see things moving way too fast. That's energy, right? So if we don't stop and take time to sit down with ourselves and write our intentions, it's like asking the waitress to give you no food. I'm just going to sit here and stare at you. You've got to say what you want. And that's your crown chakra. This is focusing on the beauty, what's working in our world. I got to see the stars 2 nights in a row, because we haven't seen stars, right? The weather's been horrible. But I looked up and I stood in the snow and just loved Mother Nature. And that's your connection to your higher self, or whatever you want to call it. And then your throat chakra, like if you get an intuition, like I really love our conversations each week. I have never had a voice saying, no more, I don't want to do, no, it's always, the energy is always going up, and that's what you want to do, things that bring your energy up. Because then you're inspired, and the lower chakras where you put your heart into it, you physically work well with other people, and you manifest. Having on earth is manifesting lofty, lovely, beautiful ideas that actually help other people too. Again, I'm reading A Course in Miracles. I am you, and every time I give to you, I'm giving to myself.
Yeah, and that reflects itself throughout your book, all over the place. There was a point in my life when it was forbidden to me, in a sense, by the religion I was living at that time, that you love yourself. That's not what it was about. You had to be humble, and you had to look at yourself as a sinner, And, you know, and on it went. It was just layers and layers of self-negation and detriment, you know, and closed doors. And then just realizing through a lot of therapy that I went through, and also getting older and starting to recognize, you know, what's important, that the fact that loving oneself, and also I think it's even better for me when I go through difficult periods where I have to say, be kind to myself. That is even gentler. Loving myself, that's big, that's really huge. Sometimes I can't wrap my arms around it, but kindness, yes, because I can see it right in front of me, you know what I mean? And sometimes when bad things happen, I'm trying to sustain that kindness. And then what happens is everything kind of falls into place.
And the heart chakra is your altar, right? Your altar to the lower chakra, which is your physical world. And by looking up, you're connecting with something higher than yourself. I don't care what you call it. And then you get the light bulb. I love the light bulb over someone's head, because then I know they're being inspired. And like with writing or anything we do, dancing, anytime we're inspired, it just flows and it feels good. And if it feels good, now you know the heart chakra is involved, then you keep doing it. But how many times in our lives have we done things that didn't feel good? So that's really what maybe this whole year is about, is do the things that bring you joy as much as you can.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good reminder. I mean, sometimes it's as simple as that, you know, but we keep forgetting.
And I don't know why that is. I just think that it's an illusion. Is it Maya? It's that thing that it's like a sheet pulling over your head that helps you forget you are this beautiful spirit. And so anytime we can look up, anytime we watch sunsets, sunrises, stars, be with people you know you can talk to and be yourself and have fun, that's when your energy rises. That's the Kundalini energy. And that's why I liked your book. It's about a snake and adversity and finding your way back to God or home or goddess or whatever it is. Yeah. I say no place like Om. Just a place where you're in awe of the universe, you're in awe of life, and then you're inspired. And so these weekly meetings have inspired me. And the more I see through the year what these conversations, heart-to-heart conversations, have done for me. And, you know, a lot of people have pushed people away and they're not hanging out in groups anymore. And so we have to reach out to one another and make a date to lift our spirits.
Yeah, that's true. And well, that's why I enjoy this conversation, these weekly conversations, because it anchors me, you know, and then of course, when you start talking about the chakras, because that's all new to me, you know, and it's the belief that you have in those powers of illumination are just startling, you know, and fascinating in so many ways, you know. So it's been great. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy 2022. And I look forward to continuing on with our conversations.
Yes, everybody. And everybody out there, Happy New Year. Be safe.
Adios.
Adios. Adios. We'll talk again soon, Dena Marie. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.